I'm back, brothers and sisters. This is part 9 of the Antichrist, the Mark of the Beast. Now we have just got through discovering in verses 12 and 13, 17, and now in 19 of the book of Revelations, we have talked about the Antichrist, the Mark of the Beast, and the mark of the Antichrist will give those the authority to have their names, the mark, written on their forehead. Now, I've already discussed you with in Revelation 19, verse 20, talks about that though this beast, or known as the Antichrist, was captured, and those that was with him was that had false prophets, and those also that was with him that listened to him, followed him, and received the mark on their forehead, was all cast into hell, was all cast into the lake of fire, and was deceived. And what does the book of John tell you? Let me tell you this. He says in the book of John, let me get to it real quick. Let me get to it. What does the book of John tell you? He tells you John tells you that you should not let your heart be troubled. Let me double check, make sure, but I do believe that's what it says. That I believe it's John that talks about that. He says, "Do not let your heart be troubled." But guess what? Those that take the mark of the beast will surely go to hell when they die. There's no way of getting out of it. John 14:1 says, "Let your heart not be troubled." John 11:1. John 14:1, excuse me. Okay, here we go. "Let your heart not be troubled, for you believe in God, believe also in me." But see, those that do not believe, those that did not trust him, those that went on a selfish praise, decide to do whatever they want to just because they wanted to do it, now has to pay the consequences for their actions. But I tell you, brothers and sisters, if you've already taken this mark of the beast, your soul's already going to go to hell when it dies. There's no backing out of it. You're the devil's. You belong to the devil. You can't pay your way out of this one. There's no way out of this one. And those that have not taken it, I pray that I pray through these scriptures that I've read to you that you understand them, read them, and do not give in to the mark of the beast or the Antichrist. If someone mentions anything about the or mark of the beast, saying, "Or have you took this mark yet?" No, man, I ain't gonna take it. I've heard too much about it. Don't let nobody talk you into taking it, because if they talk you into it and you take this, you're going to go to hell along with them. Now, God says he'll take care of those that believe and trust in him. But you cannot take the mark of the beast, because when you do, yeah, with this mark, yeah, you'll be able to buy food, you'll be able to buy things, you'll be able to sell things. But don't do it, because when you do, it's over. Your soul is damned for eternity. Alright, turn me to Revelation 20. Here we go. Revelation chapter 20, verse 2 through 5. And this talks about Satan being bound for 1,000 years. And he hold of the dragon, the serpent of old, who is the devil and Satan, and bounded him for 1,000 years. And he cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and sealed, and set a seal on him, so that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years were finished. But after these things he must be released for a little while. And verse 4 says, And I saw thrones that they sat on them, and judgment was committed to them. Then I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their witnesses to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image, had not received his mark on their forehead or on their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. What does it say? Those that do not take the mark of the beast, do not worship the image of the beast, those that do not give in to the list or listen to the antichrist will reign. Now let me tell you something. 1,000 years to God is one day. Okay, 1 day to 1,000 years to us is 1 day to God. See, I told you it'd get good. I told you it would get good. Verse 5 says, But the rest of the dead did not live again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Okay. This is the first resurrection. There's going to be a second one. And it's the final one. So basically, what you got to look forward to between now and the time of Christ, let me explain everything so far. First of all, we still have to worry about the signs of coming, which is war. Nations are going to fight against nations. Then you're going to have the Antichrist going to come through for 3.5 years. Okay? Then the images, and then the mark of the beast is going to come in, where people are going to have to take the mark. And if they don't, then they'll be killed. Then you got to worry about the devil will be loosened for let's say a year, for a day actually, because 1,000 years to God is 1 day. Then you're going to worry about dealing with the Antichrist and those that are dead. Those that already died will be that'd be it. There will be no more death as far as those that are still alive. The human people will be dead, but the spirit people, the people and the spirits, and the wars will still continue going on. Our human bodies, though, will be dead, long gone dead before this happens. Hopefully. Then again, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Turn me to one more. Revelation chapter 9. Revelation chapter 9. (5 and 15). And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. Okay, this talks about the locusts. This talks about the locusts of those that are still wicked, those that are still going to live. They will not die yet. Nobody will actually die quite yet, so that's a good thing. Some of us will see these wars, and some of us won't. Some of us will see. Some of us will see everything through them. So, verse 5 talks about, and they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. And verse 15 talks about also, so the 4 angels who had been prepared for the hour and day and month and year were released to kill a third of mankind. I don't know. We'll continue this in just a few seconds. This should be the last one in Antichrist.